is a new year, and New Year's is a great time for us to review our financial situation, to take stock of where we are at the end of December the previous year. It's a great time to prepare financial documents like a net worth statement and a cash flow statement. And I forgot exactly how many years ago it was. Somewhere between 6 and 10 years ago. I don't even remember what year it was. I was on Fox News on New Year's Day. I was on Fox and Friends the morning of New Year's Day, and they had me on to talk about financial resolutions that we should make in the new year. I think I was promoting my book at the time, and I was doing a lot of TV back then, and I kind of miss it. I'm not just a radio guy. I'm also a TV personality. I could do it. I was on probably 100 television shows the year I was promoting my book all over the country. But I've been on Fox Business, CNBC, MSNBC, Fox News, plus a whole lot of local ABC, NBC, CBS affiliates over the years. And I do like doing TV, but I haven't done some in a while. We want to do it again. So I'm going to play for you. I think it's very appropriate now to play this. This is my appearance on Fox on New Year's Day talking about financial resolutions.
2010 certainly was a tough economic year. It ended with an unemployment rate at 9.8% and Americans holding about $800 billion in credit card debt, if you can imagine that. But now is the time to start over. Tighten your financial belt and fatten your wallet.
Radio host and the author of The Financial Physician, Lou Scatigna, joins us now. Good to have you here.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Thanks for coming in this morning. We appreciate that. Not a big party night for you, I think.
Not at all.
All right. Well, it really comes down to breaking bad habits. That's like the first thing that we have to deal with. And it's hard to do that.
Yeah.
Habits are hard to break.
It is, and New Year's is a great time to deal with our physical health, but our financial health is so important. It's a good time to sit down and do a few steps. The first thing you want to do is a couple of very simple financial statements that many of us don't do. First one, a balance sheet or a net worth statement. Very simple to do. Just take a piece of paper. On the left-hand side of the paper, list all your assets. The value of your bank accounts, your IRAs, your 401ks, your home. Be realistic with the value of your home.
Your car.
Right. Realistic, right? Total up all your assets. The other side of the paper on the right side, put all your debts. Your mortgage, your car loans, your equity loans.
See, that's what stops people from
and
making
your credit
this
cards.
list complete. They start to write the debts down and they go, oh, this is so overwhelming.
Right. Well, it's not. It's very easy to do. And then what you do is simply subtract the debts from your assets, and that's your net worth. Very few people know their net worth. If you ask them their net worth, they don't have any idea. It's very simple. If you sold everything you owned, you paid off all your debt, what do you have in your hand?
And there's also a great way to do it, too. There's a website, mint.com. It does actually all of that for you. You can help plug in all that info so you have it digitally. You can put it on your iPhone, your Android app, and you can walk around with it. Preparing a budget is the next step. Once you have that net worth down, then you got to figure out where the money's going.
Yeah, that's even harder than doing the net worth statement. Very simple. Top of the page, list all your sources of income. Salary, interest, dividends, anything that comes into your life, pension, Social Security, total it up. Now, the bottom half of the page is the expenses, and this is where we kind of mess it up because we don't include everything. We have our fixed expenses, our mortgage, our car payments, but then we have our out-of-pocket expenses, and this is where we mess up.
Like going to the movies or entertainment or those things you don't think about.
Or the $4 cups of coffee that we're buying.
What's the best way to calculate that? Just going through your bank statements and just itemizing each thing?
Yeah, or what you can do is carry around a small pad with you and for 1 month keep track of every dime you spend, and you'll be surprised how much you waste.
You'll be so horrified, probably.
Yeah, I think the average family can cut 10 to 15% from their expenditures.
Once you realize you're spending $4 coffees on a regular basis,
Yeah.
you'll figure out something else to do.
You also say manage the money together.
This is a big one.
Teamwork.
Lack of spousal teamwork is
Yeah.
the reason why many families fail financially. I say both you and your honey should manage the money together. And usually in most families, it's the husband or the wife handles all the bills, but you should do it together because the spouse that's not being part of the finances is going to sabotage it. Not necessarily on purpose, but they're not engaged. So I say sit down together each and every month and pay the bills together. Go over each bill, look at them, see where you can cut. Say the electric bill is $400. You say, honey, let's get it down to $300. Well, you both have ownership in this now. We're both going to keep the heat down. We're going to turn the lights on. It's a goal that we're going to try to achieve together. And also go over all your investment statements, your 401ks, make decisions on risk or do you need to make some adjustments?
One of the things you say is learn more about money, and you need to do that. And one of the ways you can do that is by reading your book, The Financial Physician. Lou, check it out. His new book is out now. Thanks so much, Lou, for joining us this
Thanks for
morning.
having me.
Great to
Happy
have
New
you
Year.
here.
Happy New Year to you.
I can't believe that was 11 years ago that I did that. It seems like yesterday. But damn, I looked pretty good 11 years ago on TV. It's amazing what a little makeup will do for you. And being 11 years younger, I guess. Yeah, it's a little bit more than that. We'll talk about coffee and the price of coffee later in the program, the inflation that we're seeing. But yeah, that was a great experience. I met Mike Huckleberry in the green room, and the whole process is kind of cool. They send a car for you to pick you up, and I was on, I think, 7:30 in the morning, so they picked me up like 5:30. And they whisk you into the city, and they do the makeup, then they put you in the green room, blah, blah, blah. And it's all about a 3-minute experience by the time you get on the air, not like radio where I have 2 hours to talk. But I was able to touch on some things. And the reason I played is because of the important things about it. Most people don't do financial statements, and they should. It's very important to do 2 of them, and it's not hard to do. The net worth statement, all you're doing is you're listing your assets, what they're worth, all your accounts. I mean, it's easy to do with bank accounts and brokerage accounts. You just get your statement from December 31st and you just plug in the values. You know, you have to make a subjective evaluation of the value of your home. You can go to Zillow and there's an estimate of it. I would use that. That's pretty fair. You can go on Kelley Blue Book and figure out what the value of your car is. Oh, by the way, your used car went up 30% last year. You don't see that happen. I've never seen that happen ever, where the used car values go up. But that did, so that increased people's net worth just by that alone. And then you add it all up. What's everything worth that I owe? If I liquidated it all, sold it all, how much money do I have in hand? And then on the right side, you put all your debts. My mortgage balance, my credit card balances, my car loan balance, my student loan balance. Boy, there's a lot of debt out there for most American families. And then simply add up the debt, and then you subtract the debt from the asset value, and that's your net worth. Now, one of the first things I ask new clients that come in, like, what's your net worth? And they look at me crazy because they don't know. They probably can't even come close to it. So we try to figure that out. Okay, you're worth this. Like I said, it's not hard to do. And in the first of the year is a good time to do it. I did mine this weekend. I did my net worth statement. They do it every year, usually on New Year's Eve. I don't do anything on New Year's, so I have plenty of time to do stuff like that. Or New Year's Day. And I do that every year, and you keep track. It's like a report card. It tells you how you're doing financially. Is my net worth going up? Well, certainly in your accumulation years of your life, prior to retirement, you want your net worth to go up. How does it go up? It goes up because you save more. It goes up because your investments go up. The value of your home goes up. And you're paying down debt. That's the formula for increasing net worth. More savings, investments going up, paying down debt. Now the opposite's true. If you're building up debt and you're not saving any money, and your investments aren't performing well, your net worth's going to go down. Now look, 1 year is not a big deal. It's the trend. And when you're an accumulator, when you're in your 40s and 50s and you're saving for retirement, you're putting money in 401k and your IRA accounts. But usually during those years, you're also increasing debt, especially if you're living beyond your means. So the net worth statement is kind of really a report card on how well you're living your financial life. And if 5% of Americans do that every year, it'd be a lot. I'd be surprised it's that many. And that's something really good people who know how to manage their money, or at least monitor what's going on in their financial life, they do that. And you could find templates on the internet, that list savings, but you could just do that on a blank piece of paper. Now, the second important report that we need to do again is, as I said in the show, is the cash flow report, which is the hardest one. It's the budget. Nobody likes to do this part. Counting my shekels, everybody likes to count their shekels and see what they're worth, how rich they are, or poor. But trying to figure out where their money goes That's a tougher job to do. Sure, we know our fixed expenses. We know what our mortgage payment is. We know what our car payment is. But then we have variable. We know roughly what our utility expenses are. But then we get into the variable stuff. Cash that you take out of the ATM. Money that you spend in stores and on lunches and breakfasts and so forth. I mean, I know somebody who goes out to breakfast every day. You know, spends $10 to $12. Times that per month. Times that by 12 per year. And that's money could be going into your IRA account. It's so much cheaper to eat at home. What does a couple of eggs and some toast cost you? By the way, that's the highest profit margin of any restaurant is breakfast. I mean, a dozen eggs, what does it cost? A couple of bucks? And if you're buying it, wholesale like they are, how much is it going to cost per egg? What does 2 slices of toast cost? And a potato. And the markup on that stuff's a lot. A restaurateur, a guy who had a luncheonette, did breakfast and lunch only. He told me, the owner, he says, forget fine dining and all that. The money is made in breakfast and lunch. That's where the markup is. There's a lot of cash in that business, too. And they said that's the most profitable food service option you have is breakfast and lunch. And you got evenings off. I digress a little bit here. But how about, like I said, those lattes you buy at Starbucks? I laugh because I'm not really a Starbucks person. But people who are just fanatical Starbucks people. I mean, you see them in line. I mean, I can't believe the lines. There's one in my local Acme. It's always busy there. And I look at the prices on the board, and I'm like, people, $5, $6 for a cup of coffee? I don't get it. I don't get it. You can go to Wawa across the street, and for $1.50, you can get a cup of coffee. Or better yet, stay home and make it yourself. Bring a thermos with you to work. Anyway, so all these things add up. Money out of pocket. That's why it's important to really try to track your spending over a course of 2-3 months. Vacation. You got to, you spend $3,000 every summer to go away. Well, take $3,000, divide it by 12 months, and that's part of your monthly expense. And remember the expenses that come quarterly, like property taxes. If it's not part of your mortgage payment, you got to figure that out. Divide it by 3. Your annual property taxes divided by 12, and that's your monthly property tax expense. List every source of income coming into your life. That goes on the top of the page. Wages, Social Security, interest, dividends, rent. Total that up and then subtract all your monthly expenses or annual expenses. And hopefully there's a positive number there. If there's a positive number there, that's money that should be saved. Now, if you find that you haven't saved anything, but you have a positive number on your budget, then you're lying to yourself. And if you have a negative number there, well, that means you're living beyond your means. And then you know what that means? That means you're taking on debt. So go back to the net worth statement, and that's why your debt is climbing, usually on credit cards. But when you see that, when you do that exercise, you will see that, wow, I didn't realize how much I was spending at Starbucks every month. I didn't realize how much I was spending on breakfast every month because I do it daily, and I never really looked at the big picture. And then you start thinking about, okay, another thing too. You spend a lot of money in the holidays. You got to take that figure. Okay, gifts for the whole year: birthday gifts, anniversary gifts, Christmas gifts. Total up your gifts divided by 12. That's a monthly expense. Car insurance is another one. We don't pay that every month. Most of us don't. Some of us do. Got to do that equation as well. So if the net result is a positive, you're more income than your expenses, that's a good place to be. That means you're living within your means. If that number is really big, that means that's great because you're saving and investing. People tell me, "Oh, Lou, I'm 50 and I want to start doing retirement planning, but I make good money, but I can't save anything." Well, the first thing I have them do is this exercise. Let's see where your money's going. And then when they see it, I say, "Look, yeah, you can't put no money in your IRA account. Why? Because you're spending it all here. Why don't you cut back on this, and this, and there's money for your IRA, or money to pay down debt." Even if you break even on that calculation, your income equals your expenditures, that's still not good. Because you're spending every dollar you earn and you're not saving any. That's certainly better than a number being negative, which means you're going into debt. The best thing, though, is to live below your means. That way you can save money for the future. So this is a key to financial planning. This is an aspect of financial planning. And there's a big difference between financial planning and investing, and a financial planner and a financial advisor. Well, what's the difference? Well, a financial planner is looking at everything in your financial life, whereas a financial advisor is more often than not concerned about your investments, your wealth. A financial planner, especially a certified financial planner. Now, there's a lot of confusion on titles of financial advisors, the different types that are out there. And you may think they're all the same, and they're not. Anybody can call themselves a financial advisor, anybody can call themselves a financial planner. But really, it's based on the services they provide you, the advice that they provide you. A stockbroker is not a financial planner. Could be a financial advisor, but he's not a financial planner. His job is to sell investments, not to advise you on taxes, estate planning, your corporate benefits, your generational wealth transfer, all that stuff. Whereas a financial planner, and when I say financial planner, I'm talking certified financial planner. Certified financial planner is the gold standard in financial planning. It really is. First of all, a certified financial planner has to have a college degree. Not necessarily financial planning, but has to have a bachelor's degree. The board that certifies certified financial planners wants you to have a college degree. Then you have to take a very comprehensive 2-year course with the College of Financial Planning. And then you have to take a 170 question exam. I think it's 6 hours. And you have to pass it. And many people don't. Only 63% of the people taking that exam pass it. I passed it in the first attempt, I must say. But most people, 63% do. But 37% don't. So it takes 18 to 24 months to complete the training to be a certified financial planner. And also, as a certified financial planner, you have to be a fiduciary. What does that mean? You're hearing that term a lot now because new regulations are mandating that most advisors be fiduciaries. And a fiduciary simply means that that person has your best interest at heart, not theirs. Now that seems like that should be the norm. There shouldn't be a rule on that. But the problem is there's lots of conflicts of interest, mainly with financial advisors, not financial planners, but financial advisors that sell investments. Naturally, it's human nature that they're going to want to sell you an investment that pays them the highest commission. And that is not a fiduciary. It's a fiduciary of themselves, I guess. They do what's in their best interest, but they're not your fiduciary. To be a CFP, you have to be a fiduciary. Everything you do has to be in the best interest of the client, which means that you can't push somebody into an annuity because you're getting an 8% commission. It has to really fit what they're trying to do. And usually financial planners typically work on fees, not commissions. Because again, a commission-based advisor, quote-unquote advisor, is not a fiduciary. So certified financial planners for the most part, usually fee-based, which means they don't have a conflict of interest. Now, do you need a financial advisor versus a financial planner? It depends. Depends what you're trying to achieve. It depends what's important to you, what you're trying to get out of that relationship. Do you want somebody just to invest your money? Well, then you don't necessarily need a certified financial planner, although it probably would serve you well because there'll be more services available to you. But as a certified financial planner, name my firm is AFM Investments and has been for 30-something years, but we're more than investments. I provide my clients far more than investments. That's just part of it. We do income tax preparation. I'm an accountant. We do tax planning. We do estate planning. We review estates. We review wills, powers of attorney. We suggest changes. We review trusts. We look at generational wealth transfer and how to do it in the most tax efficient manner. We look at long-term care issues. We advise you on buying a car, the best way to finance it. And that's what I try to offer my clients. Look, I'm your financial guy. Anything you do financially, you call me first. My compensation largely comes from the investment side of my business because almost all my clients are investors as well, so I get compensated there. I don't charge for the advice on estate planning. I don't charge any advice. The only thing I charge extra for is to prepare your income taxes, which is probably less than H&R Block charges. And we'll be talking income taxes a lot more as we're heading towards now tax preparation season. But a good certified financial planner is worth their weight in gold to you, because it saves you from making mistakes.